Alright, we're dealing with 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 208,916 miles on the odometer is March 3rd, 2024, in the year of our Lord. Now, there's a couple of them that I got to finish up. I got to finish up Hesher, did like it. There's something floating around right now on YouTube called, it's like a version of True Romance. And it's like edited out of sequence, or I don't know. I have to go back and watch the original True Romance. I didn't get through all of it because I figured that was what was going on. And anyway, yeah, there's all these different levels of filmmaking. Inside the filmmaking, you could say there's thematic content maybe, or the moral aspect of what the writer or the filmmaker is really trying to say. I also watched a short film called Stutterer, which is by Benjamin Cleary, who did win an Oscar. And, you know, it's a really good example of ideas in film and what Lynch says about a good idea or an idea. Now, if you look at The Stutterer, there is an idea in it. And there's a moment where he's walking along the streets of London or whatever. He can't speak. He stutters horribly bad. It's like you can't even really figure it out. And you're hearing his thoughts over everything. It overlays the entire segment of this moment of the film, which you could maybe say climactic moment, where he's about to meet the love interest of his life, who they meet online, who he later learns she's deaf because of sign language. He learned sign language because he stutters so horribly he can't even talk on the phone about one of his bills. It's a pretty good little short film. Now, the idea would be all the overlapping dialogue representing his thoughts and maybe possibly being the reason for his stuttering. Because you see him speak to his father when he's playing that board game, whatever it is that they're playing. And it's not exactly chess or checkers, but it's something of that nature. And so we know that he can try to speak. We know that words come out, but there's a communication barrier. And we don't really know the exact reason why. But the idea in the film tries to explain it using the film and sound and the voiceover. That's what he means by idea, if you watch that segment. Because it's introducing a new way to communicate, a new idea. And yeah, I haven't seen it play out like that exactly in a movie before, not exactly how they did it. Because he's going through the alphabet, he's saying these various words. It's almost like he's doing it to try to speak, but it's all narration and it's going on in his head. And who knows what that looked like on the script? Who knows on the screenplay what that looked like? But it was just amazingly done. Now, I don't know if they sat down and said, listen, we're going to take this monologue and overlap it with this monologue, or if it was written out all David Mamet style on the page. I do not know. But it won an Oscar. So this was a little short film. I don't know where it was coming from. I don't know who Benjamin Cleary is, and the actor's great too. But an actor cannot be nominated in a short film, unfortunately. You don't get a short film actor Best Actor award. You only get the short film itself wins. So a lot of times the director can put himself in the short film or not, you know. So to reiterate, I think what David Lynch is talking about in A Good Idea is that it may be a way of communication within the film, or your film or video that you're trying to make. It may be trying to present a new approach. So when you watch a movie, believe it or not, you're actually watching ideas. Different ideas unfold. They've talked about a story unfolds, but you're really looking at are ideas that people have come up with, and they're all connected like A.D.W.C, all the way to Z. You know, it goes in, like, you know, if it's in order or not, you know, they can mix the ideas around, right? And so let's say you're an engineer and you like to watch movies, or you're a mathematician, or you're Vincent van Gogh, you know, or whatever it may be. Okay, it's helping you put your own ideas together in a way. And people don't really think about that. They think of formula, they think of realism, maybe, or something. You know, they're thinking of different. Look at this car coming up right over here. Right there, see it? There it goes, right there. There it goes, right here. Anyway, that's a what you call a classic car alert. So these ideas can connect to other people and help them along the way. And so that's what makes, I think, a great film. What it is it's a great idea, and it's connected to other ideas. And maybe it's connected to your idea. So that's what you need to also consider before you even put pen to paper. It's like, what kind of idea am I going to use? You know, presenting whatever it may be, whatever moral, you know, or whatever theme, you know, if you want to say that it always has to even have a theme. All right, first delivery, 6:03, 3 minutes, 0.1. All right, brand new, just opened, the Crescent. And they've got valet parking and everything. It's valet right there. It's the Crescent. Very nice. I've been in there. Right next to the museum. You got the piano pavilion about maybe 100 yards away. Then if you want to do some Health Science Center of Fort Worth, you got the medical center right here, North Texas Extension. Looks like they're constructing some stuff on Amazon. Actually, that's Amon Carter, sorry. You know, AM and then Amazon, Amon Carter. It's easy to do. That's Amon Carter right there. But they probably are constructing stuff on Amazon too. But that's an Amon Carter museum. All right, guess I messed up. Oh well, I'm just gonna leave it. Looks like it might be that one right over by the corner. Kind of a tricky one. I knocked on the door and nobody answered. She said her dog didn't even hear it. I said, give him a hearing aid. Now, for all you people that understand, the film is not called the Zircle, all right? It's called the Circle. But on YouTube, it'll be called the Zircle, so you can find it, starting with a Z. Just spell Zircle with a Z. Nothing yet. We're not even near ready, but we've got an idea. So I have a neutral mask, and we have putty that we can get. And I think Kitty's job in it, I put energy on the thing, but I found out her job. She's the artist. So she's got this little art kit, and she'll apply putty to the mask, the neutral mask. And we'll get some putty, and she can even draw on it and stuff. Now, I don't know if this works, but what they do is it's an underground, think of Robin Hood, you know? They're like an underground group of thieves, and they go after the old smartphone. Which is a nightmare for anyone to lose. It really is. You lose your smartphone, it's a nightmare. And they get them, and they take a photo of the person before they get their phone. So they take a snapshot of them on their phone, or a professional camera. It could be a still camera, it could be a video camera, it could be anything that can capture an image. Once they get that image, and they associate it to that phone, 1, 2, 3, A.D.W.C. They bring that phone back to the main guy, and his name is Hopper. I got his second part of his name. Just a moment. I know it's Mr. Hopper, but I think it's, he also has a nickname called the Cricket, but I cannot remember the first or second name. And it only went in my head only. And then I wasn't able to capture it. But the name is Hopper, an homage to Frank Booth. So we're not going to call him Frank Booth. That would be stupid. But we can call him Hopper because I had a friend named Hopper when I was younger. But I can't think of the first name. Anyway, they call him Mr. Hopper, or they call him the Cricket. Hence, the name Hopper is in there. It's a pretty common name. It's not, his first name's not Dennis. It's not Dennis Hopper. This is just an homage. It's like a reference. So he's the kind of crazy psycho one, but I'm going to play him kind of normal. I'm not going to play him all real loud and things like that. It's going to be kind of normal. You get the feeling he's kind of psycho. All right, so I'm going to play that character, and then on backstage, that's when it will go into production. You'll see it'll say The Circle. It'll be titled on YouTube The Zircle. Okay, that way you can find it. You can't find The Circle on YouTube. There's millions of stuff that comes up, millions. When you put in Zircle, nothing comes up really, right? That's how it works on the YouTube world. I watched Hesher the other day. It comes up as The Lawless Man. Don't know why. That's probably something between them and posting Hesher, but I don't know. People will do this on YouTube all the time. It doesn't ever come up exactly the same. It's called The Circle. YouTube, it's The Zircle. All right. Now, Rob is the kind of like the lead thief, but he's not the head guy. The head guy is Hopper. Now, Rob is kind of an expert. He's kind of like a runner. He can grab the phone and just run. Or he can get your phone and just run. He runs off with the phone. Now, when that happens, the phone goes on like a lockdown. The only way you can really get in it is through facial recognition, usually. All phones are on facial recognition. So the artist, and her name is Kitty, and that's referring to another noir film. And also a play that I did called Swank City. But regardless, Kitty is her name. I like that name, Kitty. The cat is in the film, but I'm going to use the cat as like a weapon. So Hopper, if he gets mad at someone, or if they do him wrong, he brings them into the room and throws the cat on their face, and the cat just rips up the real violent kind of stuff. So we'll deal with that later, because we're going to use like a puppet cat for one of the scenes, and it's just lots of. And you see the cat, kind of walking off, licking its paws. We're not going to really do that to Kitty. I'm not going to get PETA involved and all that stuff. We'll just use a puppet. Now, that'll be tough, because we'll have to find a puppet cat. So that's my hammer. I thought, what can I use right under my nose? Kitty would be a good weapon. And the cat's trained to do this. So, anyway, even though the guy's named Cricket and Hopper, he uses a cat as a weapon. All right, because it can't be traced. Now, here's another thing, too. The guy will bring the phone back to his, hideout. Kitty makes the mask look exactly like the person, or enough for the computer to, in the phone to recognize his facial recognition. Now, can you really do this? I don't know. But in the film, it works. So it's kind of maybe a little bit fiction, maybe not completely, I don't know. But the mask part is what we'll have to work on to make it look like a person's face, using a neutral mask. It can even be a little ridiculous looking, but it works just enough for the phone at the right angle to turn on, and then they overthrow the phone, and then they get the account numbers, and they get all that stuff. Now, people really doing this? Kind of. There's some stuff that went on in New York that really happened. But that's kind of the plot. So we have that decorative plot there that we can work around. Then we can throw in cool dialogue, keep it kind of simple, and we've got basically 4 characters. So we've got Rob, the lead thief. We got the crazy head guy, Psycho. His name goes by Hopper. Don't know his first name, but know that he also has a nickname called the Cricket. Then we've got the lead artist that constructs the mask, and her name is Kitty. Then we've got a cat. We'll just call him Cat. All right, so here's some things that we can do. I kind of want to maybe stay away from Airbnb because what I really want to do is I want to find either actors that will lend out their own apartments. I want lived-in kind of stuff. That's exactly the same thing Christopher Nolan did with The Following, if I'm not mistaken. Lived-in stuff is easier. A lot of other filmmakers do it. They already lived there. They always got weird things that can tell a story about the person. It's not too far from, So there'll be actors that will be the victims, and there'll be like maybe 4. We'll go through like 4 snatches or something of the cell phone or the smartphone. It really is a smartphone, just something like, We'll go through like 4 of them. So what we'll do on backstage is special requirements for the role. Don't know how much I can pay yet, but one will be you'll have to lend out your apartment for location. You'll lend out your pad. Because Airbnb, it gets costly and it doesn't look lived in. Airbnbs look like Airbnbs. So we'll stay away from Airbnb. Although we could maybe use an Airbnb for something else. I'll have to look because there might be like a warehouse or something like that, or something maybe, I don't know. Also, it would be cool to have like a warehouse or something, or like a studio, like a craft studio that the love interest, which is Kitty, that she would work in, because she's like this real artist that they use. All right, so it does take some work. So back to the Zircle. See, the cat is used as the torture device, or as the, I guess you could say weapon. But, it's his way of punishing the people that do him wrong, kind of thing. And so he has the cat, and he's petting the cat, and he says, here's pussy. And then he throws the cat at their face, and the cat just, clenches on and hurts them. And they've got, people, he's got like maybe Rob as a henchman or something holding them, so the cat will make his mark. This would be if anyone like turned in their underground organization. So it's that kind of thing. A lot of trailers right over here. But anyway, that's what I have so far. And now we just have to kind of build it up slowly. When I get some ideas, something that comes up, then I'll put it on a note card. Here's one thing I want to tell you about Grace and why I had to throw it away. It can become corrupted. So what happens is you come up with a pretty good idea, and then it can become corrupted. So it literally, like a virus or something, can get into the idea and make it too complex. If you don't keep it simple, then you can't do it anymore, So you got to find this scene that leads to this, and you watch something like The Following or any film. Following's a feature, but you watch a film like that, and it shows you kind of a simple way to at least get it down, because I think it's fairly simple, and that's where you want to stay, or then it becomes kind of jarred, or it gets jogged, it's like you can't, you just throw it away, and that can happen with ideas. So the idea on this is that, for one thing, it's doable, because all you would need is other people's apartments, a cat, which I have, a mask, which I have, and just use modern day clothing and modern smartphones. And I've got like 4 of them. Actually, I have more than that. I was going through my place the other day. I have 4 basic ones that I use that all of them turn on. I also have like 2 others that still will turn on. They're from like Walmart. And all you have to see is just that they're turned on, and you see the screen. You could even still use them with them turned off, because phones that are still turned on look like they're turned off, that kind of thing. So I've got all the stuff at play for the story. Now what I have to do is fit in some dialogue within the characters that will fit around the story, which is pretty tough to do. And sometimes you can find that on set. And then, I don't know, I'm going to try to spend as least amount of money as possible. So the time we lift it off and it appears on my channel as The Zircle, it'll probably be black and white. I'm probably going to go with black and white. The reason I'm going to go with black and white is very clear. It segregates that from the vlog, right? So the vlog is going on. That's not going to stop. And all of a sudden something's going to appear in black and white. And if that means if I do it now, I'd have to use that as dailies, and I don't want to do that. So we're not going to get into any of that stuff until after November, because there's no reason for me to really do it without that MacBook Pro. Because for one thing, it'll have advanced editing on it, and it'll have a way that I can put credits on there without, I can do my own roll credits if I wanted to. I guess that's not really an excuse, but I could still use their version of credits, so I don't have to get like too fancy with the roll credits for the ending and for the beginning too, maybe. I like that idea. And then I also like using a more advanced editing software where I can take out bumps and things, and whatever, things that don't really need to be there. Right, kitty? All right, now we get to see Butterfly. All right, next one, 6:55, 2 minutes, 1 mile. All right, 7:28, 3 minutes, 0.9. Yep, there it is. It's Docks, Records, and Vintage. So you can pick up stereo equipment, vintage, records, clothing. They probably have cool clothing there, antiques, all kinds of stuff. It's called Docks. It's really cool right here. Basically in this area. Oh yeah, I remember these people. Oh, we got a black cat right over there. Next one is 7:33, 3 minutes, 1 mile.